Okay, here I am, tinkering again. Oh, and greetings from the finale of TSIA World Interact 2025 from sunny Orlando. 3 days, overwhelming. The bottom line is we have to start asking ourselves, what if? So, one of the things that I really want to do is simplify the overwhelming amount of documentation that I gather during discoveries, during conferences, and turning that into something actionable. So, sure, I want a summary that summarizes all of the sessions. Sure, like instead of just reading every single one, have something that's more digestible. But then what about actionable steps? What about synthesizing the themes? What about looking for opportunities? What about risks and suggestions for mitigating said risks? So, those are all of the things that I'm thinking about. And in the spirit of buy versus build versus borrow, there's a law. In some of my notes here, it says it, but I can't remember what it's called, but there's like a law for it. But turns out I have access to Google Gemini and something called NotebookLM. So with my Google Workspace standard license, thank you, Micah Adler, for letting me know such a thing existed. I have access to this notebook LLM. So I thought I would take you on the journey of me creating my first notebook with all of the notes that I took from the sessions that I went to. So this is the keynotes. This is actually, I still have 2 sessions that I have to clean up and add to this from today. So there was a keynote today, and then also a great session by Schneider Electric, how they were talking about the telemetry that they're putting into their equipment and talking about not just asset centric preventative maintenance, but what about system centric preventative maintenance? So all of your assets are connected, and you should be monitoring all your assets that are tied to maybe the same grid or the same geographic region, let alone at the customer location, right? So this is all your asset install base. So it's very fascinating the way that they're thinking about their smart assets and how those assets are calling home, how the sensors are already installed and the software is already calibrated and not calibrated, but like they basically turn on and connect all of their systems to make sure that all software is connected instead of doing the typical startup that you do after installation. So think about the amount of truck rolls that you can reduce now that the equipment is already plug and play, for lack of a better phrase, right? Your technicians don't need to wait for some software or electrical engineer to come out to ensure that the systems, the equipment are connected and running and sending messages back and forth. That they do all that at the factory. That's smart. So reducing truck rolls. And why that's important is because the demand is increasing, like particularly in data centers, right? So let's think about the data center scenario. The number of jobs and projects that are happening from an installation, design, build perspective is astronomical. So the amount of data centers that are getting created are so much higher, which means more installs, more design, more maintenance, more repairs. So if you've got an increase in work orders, how are you going to satisfy that demand? On top of that, the silver tsunami is happening where the technicians are leaving in droves due to retirement, and we're not backfilling those roles. How are we going to keep up with the rising demand? So it's like the demand and supply in terms of the ability to perform the work, it's like the gap is so large. So, what can we do from an asset monitoring and listening perspective to ensure that we've got uptime that's 99.9% and reducing the number of times we have to go out to maintain those assets? So the theme for the field service track at World Interact was a lot of this dynamic real-time scheduling. Beyond that, really smart assets. So I do want to have a little bit more here. Like the piece that was today was more around the assets. The other piece that was interesting was like pricing. Gone, not gone, but dwindling are the days of user-based pricing because a lot of these organizations are trading off costs and investments in AI for people. So lay off a group of people so that you can have investments in AI, and then the AI reduces the need for increasing headcount, or it's incentivizing the decrease of headcount. So what are we how are we going to now, like in a technology software as a service based company, how are you going to justify a user based model? You can't, because now you've got a business that used to have 100 users, let's use easy math, that now only have 10. How are you going to grow? You're not, you're shrinking. Consumption based was a discussion here, but what people are really trending towards is value based and outcome based. So, how is that going to turn out? Now, from a consumption based model, that could work if you think about like number of records or performance and things like that. But you could easily get some unforeseen spikes if you don't have the transparency in that consumption model. So, lots of interesting things to think about on a big scale. So, not just field service, but how we're running our business, how we're running our service, how we're running customer success, how we're thinking about renewals and customer health scores. Very fascinating. Okay, so here I am tinkering with Notebook LM. So the vision I have is for every client that I have, every client gets their own notebook, all of the notes, all of the design docs, all of the, I guess, I think you can also include, interesting, you can also include websites, right? You can also include like copy paste. And I put some links for my Google Drive. So that was linked here. So I can have 300, I guess, artifacts that I can put in here. So let's just put in the TSIA website. But I did speak with eGain, and eGain has their own, oops, seriously? They have their own AI knowledge hub that I could build. How do I log in again? Shoot. I set something up. What was cool about their AI agent is that it can go 3 levels deep on a website. So I pasted in the website here, add, what are my sources? Okay, I have 13. Show me my sources. It's this one, right? This is looks like it's only the one website. Let's see more. No. So that was interesting that it could just go 3 levels deep. I'll do another recording on this one when I get into it because I want to upload a PDF. So I started off with like a chatbot type of experience, chat agent for my website. Played around with it. I was able to stand it up in 10 minutes. So that was fascinating. But anyway, I do want to see what I can do with this. Really, it's about synthesizing. I didn't realize that I could do a mind map. That's pretty cool. What's this? Okay, resolution pathways was fascinating. Neuron 7 has a really great product right now, or feature in their product. Accuracy at scale. Yes, he's still nothing. Man, okay. What did we have here? People process. Oh, that's wrong. It wasn't offer monetization, it was technology. So I don't know why it did that. So this is a bit inaccurate, but interesting that I can click on it and I can just discuss what these sources say about offer monetization in the larger context of 3 cornerstones of field service excellence. It's interesting. I guess monetizing support offers was part of it, but that's still not. technology. But yeah, okay. So the bill for remote support is foundational, right? So going back to offering management, reducing truck rolls, adding virtual support services as a service is compelling, and then adding a price tag to that. All right. Connected devices. Okay, at least it got it right here. People process technology. Yeah, this is part of the value-based approach, right? So from a field service context, like we're talking about field service models. Okay. Oh, let's see. Does it, Roy, are you in the house? Let's see. No. Who's that? What's this? That's so random. I wonder if it's prioritizing this because it's at the top. Okay, so my transcription, it's not very clear, so it's incorrect. It's just like it picked it up incorrectly. So that's going to be a challenge. So here's what I did. I used my iPhone voice memo, and in voice memo, I would record the session, and then it gives me a transcript that I can copy paste. And the raw transcript looks like this. And it's right. So I'm really dumb, right? No, really, it's I'm Roy Dockery, the director of field service research here at TSIA. So it missed some words because, again, it's a recording, right? It's not going to capture everything. But if I think about the way that we work and how we take meetings and virtual meetings, and we have the privilege of recording the meeting and getting the transcript, I don't have that privilege all the time with like in person stuff, unless if I like take my phone and start recording it. So if we get into a practice like that and it becomes something that's okay, and really the value is to get that data into my LLM to enrich how I'm going to service my customers. What's this? So it's a pretty interesting thing, generating notes based off of 13 sources. Let's see what it gets here. What does a note mean? No idea. Okay, let's see what this is. Hmm, it's really long. I had a lot of really good ideas from Rocket Lane, so I'm interested why it's not coming in. This one was a very interesting source. Keynote was very interesting. Oh, is it not showing photos? Let's see. Oh, it does take, right? This inertia is blocking transformation. I thought this one was so fascinating. How come I can't close this? Okay, good. So these are the key workflows that we need to focus on. And so what he was saying was like the shrinking revenue across enterprise technology providers, like these are making like this is making it the renewal rate decrease. And he's saying that it's getting so hot. This is a melting pot, early warnings. And this is the model driven revenue engine. This was interesting. This is the value realization playbook. So to help your customers realize their value, like I feel like from the Tinker Time Labs perspective, we're still very much in a learn and try place, and we need to get our customers to move over into this buy bucket. But I think there's got to be an adoption thing. So we have to think about how we're thinking about how we add value in organizations as a management consulting firm. Like innovation is everybody believes in it. Like organizations, at least everybody here believes in it. They don't always have the budget to staff that internally. And not only do they not have the budget, but they don't have the expertise. And so I was banking on our expertise to help them with that. So now it's a matter of understanding what the value is. That's all here. Like part of adoption is understanding the value and how we actually help them save money and possibly even gain more money, even though they're paying our fee. And then we keep providing adoption plays. We realize their value. Yeah, maybe they don't realize value until, yeah, okay, until after the second adoption play. So I have to start thinking about what does adoption play look like? And then what does the value look like for our business before I can move over and say, hey, like, to my customer base. This is how you apply it to your business. I liked these value anchors. Right. So here's like the raw transcript below. Okay. Okay. So let me add a link website. This is interesting. I like this. And this, I'm going to pin that. And then so I like that feature. What about, let's see if this will even hit. Yeah, this one. It's got to be clearly identified. So the value. So how do I become a black belt in value realization? Defining value, measuring it, and effectively communicating it. Untangle chaos, align strategy. Okay, so assessing, identifying the core friction, researching. Yeah, okay. But I want to get into the how. Okay, here we go. Doesn't this seem so vague when people say things like this? Oh, here. Yeah. But sometimes getting more work orders done isn't the right thing, right? It's okay, we can get more work orders done without a truck roll. Maybe that's what it is. Because, it's the truck roll that's expensive. But if we can get remote services to be the ones that are solving it, we can reduce the truck roll and we can close more cases, close more work orders that way. Scalable solutions. Yeah, it's really good. So we've got lots of stuff here. I think I need to delete this. Okay, so generally speaking, I feel like Notebook is getting pinned. This is very compelling. So if we have one of these for each client, then we have files like that, like what I have here. And then I can synthesize this. Okay. Now, can you put together an executive briefing, your whole experience here, as if I'm, as if, let's see if we can do that. I don't know. Let's find out. Uh, let me just see. Okay, hold on. Do I have to do anything right now? Yeah. This is fascinating. So my idea for becoming a smart organization is leveraging a tool like this. I think this would be incredible. I want to have one for art of leading, maybe a Specify or just like the 001 project that we plan to have, and then one for each client. Okay, so that's one idea, tactical. Now, what about tactical though? This is all theoretical. Can it add? Oh God, this is a lot in terms. Yeah, see, I need something super tactical. I love that. Okay, love that. Can you think of something super tactical that TTL can implement in the next 30 days based off of three, three super tactical things? Would lock in. Let's just call it $250,000 of sales. I don't know. Like, what's the ROI that we're looking to achieve here? Okay. Mm, see, okay, fine. Like, the goal for organizations typically is revenue growth. So I guess I could say like revenue growth is the business driver. I wonder if that was maybe the better approach. Anyway, let's just see what I get. Okay. Oh, okay. Ooh, yes. Dog fooding examples. Exactly. Yes. Okay. Okay. This is so cool. Okay, I really like this. I think this is going to be good. Okay, so now can you? I'm thinking I want to. Then I don't know how long I want it to be like. So this is what I'm thinking I'm going to start using for like building my executive readouts. This could be something worthwhile. So, anyways, here I go. This is behind the scenes, how the sausage is made at Tinkertime Labs. We love to build in public, where this is no gatekeeping here. We're all here to help the tides rise and to help us all lift. And maybe you can learn something tangible right now.